Welcome, fellow travellers. Welcome aboard the ship of the great hero Odysseus, famous among the ancient Greeks for his clever ideas and cunning plans. Poor Odysseus has been away from home for a long time. Many years ago, he left his home to fight in the Trojan War, a mighty battle between the Greeks and the people of Troy. Now he's making the long journey home, where his wife is eagerly waiting for his return. Odysseus has had many adventures on this ship, some of them you wouldn't believe. Would you like to hear about one of them today? One day, as Odysseus and his men were sailing back home, they drew closer and closer to the island of the Sirens, fearsome creatures to beware of. Their song was so beautiful and so enchanting that it had the power to lure men towards the dangerous rocks on the island where their ships would be dashed to pieces. Legend had it that no man had ever survived hearing the siren song. However, was Odysseus going to sail his ship past the Sirens without his men and his ship coming to any harm? Luckily, Odysseus had a cunning plan to get past the Sirens' island safely, which a wise goddess had shared with him earlier on his travels. He took a great lump of wax, just like the wax that candles are made of, and he warmed it in the sun's rays so it became soft and he could mould it into small pieces. Next, he put a piece into each of his men's ears so they wouldn't be able to hear the dangerous music. But Odysseus himself, the great adventurer, wanted to hear the siren's song and live to tell the tale. So he ordered his men to bind him to the ship's mast as tightly as they could, making them promise that if he begged to be released, they must tie the ropes even tighter. Unable to hear a thing, the men rowed past the Sirens' island, cutting through the waves with their oars. Odysseus, however, was mesmerized by the sirens' captivating voices and the charming music they played as they strummed softly on their lyres. He begged his men to release him so he could get closer to the music, but with their ears full of wax, the men could not hear his pleas. Odysseus strained at the ropes that bound him tightly to the mast as he pleaded with his men to untie him, but the men stayed true to their word and just tied his ropes even tighter so he couldn't break free. Eventually, the siren's song faded into the distance, and it was safe for Odysseus to be untied from the mast and for the men to take the wax out of their ears. Odysseus and his crew continued their long journey home, but the music of the sirens, the most beautiful music Odysseus had ever heard, lingered in his head a little longer, a bewitching sound he wouldn't soon forget. This is just one of many adventures Odysseus had on his journey home from the Trojan War. Have you heard any others? Why not find out more, or even make up a brand new adventure of your own for this great hero?